that they do bad, they're not going to put Mac Jones in a situation to not succeed. Everything that he is doing is for success, to put this team in a better spot. And we know once you get into the tournament, at that point in time, anything can happen. I strongly believe, and I felt this way even at 2-4, that they would turn things around and fight the Buffalo Bills for the division. Although they lost one game already to the Miami Dolphins, which kind of puts them a little bit behind the 8 ball. But when you look at it, this is the type of team that the success is run the football, play solid defense, bend, don't break, and allow Mac Jones to make a handful of throws, and on third down be successful. That can go all the way to the Super Bowl.
So, Key, a couple things. You mentioned the Bills. They have 2 games left against the Bills. One on Monday Night Football on ESPN and early December at home, December 26th. So everything is out in front of them. And everything you just described, I mean, don't you have the thought, like this is the 2001 formula when
Absolutely.
They won that first Super Bowl? There it is, Key. I mean, you
Absolutely.
said it, and I'm thinking to myself, this reminds me of the 01 team with that complementary football, offense, defense, special teams.
And so when you look at it, I've been saying the entire time that this is the best spot for Mac Jones. This gives him the opportunity to succeed. And then I throw in there young Tom Brady. But what I want to say is young Tom Brady, 2001, not Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm talking about early stages Tom Brady. I'm talking about 13 of 20, 200 yards and a touchdown. That's the Tom Brady that I'm talking about, and Mac Jones certainly could do that.
Yeah, just make it like 16 of 20, Key, or 17 of 20. Because one thing about Mac Jones, he's had, I want to say, 6 of his games of 70%. And Dak Prescott has the record of 9 for games in which you complete 70 or more % of your passes. And that actually has been one thing. Like, Mac's pretty efficient, shorter passes, you know. And the other point that you make that I think is so important, this spot being right for Mac, like they've brought him along masterfully. Offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels probably deserves a mention here. Like, you watch any Patriot game, Mac comes to the sideline and he's like shoulder to shoulder with McDaniels. And I think you look at the other 4 first-round quarterbacks and like Mac has really benefited from coming to probably the best coaching staff in the NFL.
Mike Reiss, ESPN NFL Patriots reporter, joining us here on Keyshawn, JWill and Max. Mike, if he keeps playing this way and the Pats win the division, do you think he'll get Rookie of the Year? Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Oof. So I would have said yes, but, you know, let's see what Jamar Chase does in Cincinnati the rest of the year. And I know, you know, Jay, like usually those do go, like the quarterback has an advantage. And so I would probably lean toward Mac, but that's some good competition out there in Cincinnati. And so between those two, maybe throw a few others in the mix, I would say I'd put Mac right up near the top of the list, but not as decisive as I'd want to be until I know what happens the rest of the year.
Tyrann Mathieu tweeted something very interesting about him that I just had on my screen, and now I don't, so I will find it momentarily. In the meantime, here it is. Mac Jones wasn't trendy enough for y'all first, huh? Now y'all love him. Man, y'all funny. Day in and day out, y'all should be on Comedy Central. Now, what is he? Is it that sounds like obviously when you get that recognition from opponents, that's the ultimate respect. What would motivate Tyrann Mathieu to say something like that? And do you feel like that's what's starting to go around the league? That in the beginning we all thought this was kind of funny. You know, Mac Jones, Mac Jones, he's really going to beat out Cam Newton. I mean, you remember all the conversations we had in the summer. Well, it's not funny anymore because now we're talking about the Patriots, the team that can win their division, and Jeff Saturday said they can go to the Super Bowl.
You know, Tyrann Honey Badger probably is looking at film of opponents that the New England Patriots have played, so he's getting prepared for the opponents or whatever the case may be, and he's recognizing and seeing how Mac Jones plays. When you go back to the Cam Newton situation, it's not that he wasn't beating out Cam Newton. It's more about a veteran quarterback based on what you see going into the year. A rookie quarterback, something that they've never done before, along with a veteran guy who has skins on the wall, who's healthy.
He didn't have moments
Your
that
guy.
had people excited. But what did he do when he played in college? He won. Played with a great team, and he won.
Exactly.
And so with
that's
that
not
in
for
mind.
but that's not for everybody, though, right, Alan?
But to say the redraft and Mac Jones would go number one
no,
is insane.
No, it's not.
Like, that's
happen.
insane because of what you said, Key.
No, it's not gonna happen.
That's the thing we lose here.
It's not gonna happen.
Some places it's very specific of
what they need.
That guy fits what we do.
Yes.
Instead of we're going to take him and we're going to figure out how to make it work. But you take the talent at the top of the draft. You always take the arm talent and the potential at the top of the draft. Mac Jones is an arm talent and potential. Mac Jones is fit.
Here's what
and
I-
his fit waited till 15 where the Patriots grabbed him. Like the thought, I'm sorry,
if
Key,
the-
but just because
Go
remember
ahead.
the 49ers were rumored to have moved up to 3 to
Yes,
get him.
I remember.
Yes. And that's another one of those things when you think to yourself, what if that did happen? Is he sitting behind Jimmy Garoppolo? Is he sitting there now? We don't know any of this.
Put it this way. I'm glad it didn't happen for his sake. For Mac Jones' sake. And what I was going to say is if the New England Patriots was sitting at 3, it probably would have happened. But they weren't. They were sitting at 15.
Okay.
If the New England Patriots was sitting at 2 instead of New York Jets.
So they still take him over
they
everybody
probably
because of
take
their
him-
specific need.
They probably take him because what they needed. That's what they like.
That's gutsy.
If Trevor Lawrence is gone at
Right.
1, and they're sitting at 2 or 3, and they look at Justin Fields, or put it this way, they could have moved up and got Justin Fields if they wanted to.
Right.
They didn't.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.